All right, y'all. So listen, we back with another video showing y'all that this world, it's a crazy place we live in. You know what I mean? I love it. I call it home. You know, I wouldn't want to be nowhere else, but I got to say it's still a crazy, crazy place. Right? And in this video, we got to have a conversation, right? The title is "The Mom Reports an Attempted Kidnapping and Then Instantly Regrets It." I know, sounds crazy to me too, so let's get to it. Figure it out.
Police, you're reporting an emergency?
I suppose so, yes.
What are you reporting?
I was just at the Michaels here in Petaluma, and a couple tried to kidnap my children.
What the best description you can recall?
I mean this in the nice, they were just kind of rough looking.
Are you or your husband, like important people for some reason? Is there something they would be like, we're going to take your kids and hold them to ransom?
I might be bi. My kids are very good looking. I don't know. It's hard. I want to be.
No, I want you to take your time.
I really do want to be 100% sure because I do not want to falsely.
No.
Anything.
No.
I don't want to misrepresent what has happened. I do think it's important for parents to be aware, but I don't. It makes me a little uneasy that you guys are getting blown up about this.
Katie Sorensen, an aspiring momfluencer, calls 911 to report every parent's worst nightmare. As her follower count skyrockets, the community grows outraged, and investigators are placed under immense pressure to quickly solve the case. But as they dig further into the investigation, they soon find that something isn't quite right with Katie's story.
And I'm already nervous of somebody possibly doing something for clout. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but that's what you get apprehensive already about. Are they just doing this for the viewer count and for subscribers and stuff like that? What's going on here?
They soon find that something isn't quite right with Katie's story, and what they discover turns out to be almost as shocking as the report itself. On December 14th, 2020, in Petaluma, California, Katie Sorensen made this call to 911.
Police, you're reporting an emergency?
I suppose so, yes.
What are you reporting?
I was just at the Michaels here in Petaluma, and a couple tried to kidnap my children.
Tell me exactly what happened.
We pulled into Michaels, we're getting out of the car, and a couple was parked in front of us. They followed us into the store, followed us throughout the store, followed us through checkout. We're on the phone right behind us. I heard them making comments about my children's hair color and eyes, and I thought it was just to be polite. I walk out to my car. There's a large white van.
There were two people who did this?
Yes, it was a couple, but then there was a third person that was in the white van.
Let me get your name and phone number.
Okay, my name is Katie Sorensen.
Okay, I've got an officer. He's going to go check the parking lot of Michael, see if we can locate that van.
After receiving this unnerving 911 call, Officer McGovern and his trainee meet Katie outside of the police station to get her story, starting with how the couple had supposedly followed her and her two young children into the store from the parking lot.
They were kind of suspicious. They were watching me. I took a while to get out of the car because I had a stroller. They followed me throughout the entire store, every aisle I went down, got in line right behind me. We're talking on the phone, and they were saying, I wasn't listening to everything they said, but they did say blonde hair, blue-eyed, boy, girl. They were talking about my kids, I think.
Okay.
The lady in front of me could kind of sense they were being off. They were just getting really close and just kind of saying weird things.
Okay.
And then she let me get in front of her. I checked out. They should have taken a while because they were another person behind me.
Yeah.
Although Katie might not realize it, what she tells the officer next will later come back to haunt her, as her story hinges on this one unsettling detail.
They must have put their stuff down. They just followed me right out to the car. I called my husband, and we have a code word, so I said it, and he's just stayed on the phone with me until I got the kids out. They were walking in circles around my car first, and then as I was buckling my daughter in, they came up to the stroller, did one circle around the stroller, saw that I was watching them, and I don't know why I got too scared to say something to them, so I saw an old man behind them, and he was looking, and we just made eye contact. I said, "Excuse me, could you help me lift this?" And he was an older man, so he must have had a caretaker or something.
Yeah.
They both came over and helped me and stayed with me until I left.
As if this isn't terrifying enough, What Katie describes next is like something out of a horror film.
And then, so where did the people go?
So they got into their car. This was another big part. When I walked up, I knew what was happening because there was a white van parked right next to my car with the slider door right close, so they could have just put him in that white van.
Okay.
That's my assumption.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on here. And I never want to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Are you because somebody could be telling you exactly what they saw, but darn, this is just an elaborate story. This is an elaborate story. And you said nothing? You said nothing? Like, who leaves if you think somebody's following you and you're in a public place, like a public store or something like that, why leave the store when there's so many people inside that can help you? Especially if the people behind you, you seen them follow you from the outside to the inside, down the aisles, up to the checkout. Why leave the store then? Why go out there and give them the opportunity? I don't understand that. So it's just so many things you could poke holes into, but let's keep listening.
Close, so they could have just put him in that white van.
Okay.
That's my assumption.
So the only thing you heard them say is possibly a description of your 2 kids, or you and your 2 kids?
Yeah, that's the only thing that was weird, but then they were circling my stroller and the car. Van that was parked wasn't their vehicle, they were in a different one.
Okay.
And so whoever was in the van, he got out, and then as those people were walking over to me, he got back in. And I made eye contact with him. And he
was the guy with the rimmed glasses that you described? So outside of proximity, did they communicate with each other? Or are you just assuming they were?
I'm just assuming they were.
When asked for a description of the couple's car, Katie tells the officer that she couldn't make out much due to the glare of the sun. However, she was able to see that it was a 4-door compact vehicle that was dark in color. Katie was, however, able to get a good look at the couple.
If you were presented photos of any of these people, would you be able to recognize them?
Yes. Just because I was looking at them, because I was trying to disregard my feelings and trying to make conversation. Maybe I was just being crazy. So I kept looking right at them to see if they would talk to me, and they wouldn't make eye contact.
What you mean? All you got to do then, if she's telling the truth, go pull the tape from the store. The CCTV footage from the store should show their faces. Like, this should be easy because if they walked through the store, then they weren't trying to hide themselves unless they had masks on. In that case, the store would have probably been onto them too.
What were the descriptions of the 2 females? Were the 2 ladies?
No, it was a male and a female.
Were the 2 people following you?
The male and the female were 2 people following.
Okay, yeah, so what the best description you can recall?
The male he had darker skin tone, maybe Hispanic. He was wearing a black hoodie that said Black Lives Matters and had like graffiti all around it. The mask he was wearing was one of those it's just a pullover, like a sleeve.
Like a, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, like a, what do they call it, gator?
Yeah. He had a shaved head.
Describe the female again.
She was Caucasian, had reddish hair, but it was more of like box dyed. It wasn't natural red. She had on a blue mask that had some sports team. I didn't see the logo. I don't recall what she was wearing.
Okay. So blue mask, red hair, I mean, that'll stand out.
Yeah. I mean, this and the nice, they're just kind of rough looking. Like, I don't know how if that.
That's fine. Yeah.
In a video posted.
So much more. And I ain't gonna lie, it irritated me because conveniently they got on a Black Lives Matters t-shirt as well. You know what I mean? For her sake, I hope she's telling the truth. I hope she's telling the truth. That I'm gonna just say that because it kind of a little bit irritated me right there.
Looking like, I don't know how if that.
That's fine. Yeah.
In a video posted to her Instagram page, Katie would later describe what happened and what she thought of their appearance.
Monday of this week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
I definitely felt the heebie-jeebies. I didn't feel good, but I thought I was judging a book by its cover. They were not, like, kind. That sounds bad, but they weren't clean-cut individuals.
With a description of the couple now established, Officer McGovern searches for a possible motive.
And they were on the phone with somebody giving the descriptions.
I don't know if they were on the phone. I didn't turn around to see if they were talking.
You just
to someone
overheard
else.
them.
I just heard, and it was very weird context. Like, it didn't.
And then I guess, are you or your husband, I mean, like, important people for some reason? Is there something they would be like, we're going to take your kids and hold them to ransom?
I might be bi. My kids are very good looking. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My son has special needs, so he's nonverbal.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as someone like seeking out us, no.
Yeah. Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Okay. That's bizarre. And these people, well, you said they look rough looking, and your children are. This didn't seem like a recruiter or something for like a modeling agency. They weren't like.
Oh my God.
Two very attractive kids, and did anything? They would have said something to you most likely.
They're just trying to take.
Just try. Okay.
As Katie continues to reveal more and more disturbing elements of her story, Officer McGovern tries to piece together some other key details.
Obviously, the suspicious behavior is super weird. The fact that they circled your car, circled the stroller, is bizarre. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it meets the criteria of like attempted kidnapping. But
I don't care to press charge. I just want to make people aware so that it doesn't happen to someone else is all.
Yeah, clearly. And that's why we have like 3 people circling the shopping centers over there. Still like, what the heck's going on? And then, again, associating the 2 different vehicles, that's just based on a hunch that you think they were associated?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, not a problem. But the gentleman in the van, aside from making eye contact with them, didn't appear to interact with anybody.
I was on the phone with my husband, like just freaking out.
Yeah.
So I didn't really pay attention to that. I was just trying to get us safe in the car.
What? Yeah. I mean, and again, you guys obviously have your standard operating procedure. I've never heard of families having a safe word like that. What made you set that up?
We listened to true crime podcasts.
Okay.
Which is silly, but we just always decided that if it was more of if you were in trouble, like yourself. So he didn't even know what I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
He was like, wait, what's going on? Aren't you at Michael's?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I think someone's following us.
Got it.
And so.
Okay.
As the interview comes to a close, Officer McGovern informs Katie of the next step.
Who doesn't want to press charges? Somebody come after your family and look like, or any type of thing, and they figure out that they were trying to attempt to get your kids, you're not gonna press charges? Oh, bro, I'm pressing charges, bro. Literally pressing like, what do you mean? No. That was a little odd to me as well. But we still don't know if she's telling the truth or not.
Before they part ways.
We'll keep looking for them, and again, we'll put a BOL out, most likely, it's a dark-colored compact with a possible male Hispanic, and then the description of a white female adult with red hair and a blue mask. Just to at least contact and sort it out, but again, criminally, it's going to be tough to string together what we got. So, okay, well, sorry that happened to you today. That's a very rare occurrence, especially since, you said there were a lot of people at Michael's. It's weird that they would have been that, forthcoming, so.
It was very weird. And like I said, we listen to crime podcasts, so I try to not go there, but it was that.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'll let you guys get out of here. All right, well, have a better day. We'll look for these people, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
On December 13th, 6 days after speaking to Officer McGovern, Katie posts a 2-part video to Instagram recounting her petrifying experience that day. Soon the videos go viral, receiving more than 4 million views, and Katie's follower count leaps from about 3,000 to over 80,000 followers in just one day. Katie's story is particularly concerning for residents of Petaluma, as the city is home to one of America's most notorious child abductions, the kidnap and murder of 12-year-old Polly Klaas in 1993. Pretty soon, worried parents began calling the Petaluma Police Department, and the following day, on December 14th, Officer McGovern, along with Detective Yeager, head to Katie's house to confront her with some surprising new developments.
Wait a minute, because she said a lot that she listens to crime podcasts. Y'all think she took one of those crimes and in her mind, set a scene based off of that, something similar? just to later on down the line record it and go viral. Yeah, if that's, I hope not. I hope not, man. Cause then y'all are just gonna ruin this thing, man, and you're gonna saturate it. You're gonna make it bad, and now you ain't gonna be able to believe nobody these days if y'all start doing stuff like this. And I think people are already doing stuff like this.
So it sounds like the initial statement that you gave Officer McGovern was a lot different than what you had posted on Instagram, and that's why we're here. Okay, because what you posted on Instagram is pretty concerning to us. So if this couple is out there attempting to steal children, right? We need to get all the details that we can.
Yes.
So we were able to go to Michael's today and pull up the video surveillance footage from that. So there's just some clarifying stuff. That, so I want to show you a couple photos just to make sure we're talking about the same people.
Yeah.
If you're willing to look at them.
Yes, of course. Yes.
After positively identifying the couple, Detective Yeager presents Katie with her findings, subsequently flipping the investigation into the attempted kidnapping on its head.
So on the video footage, this couple actually is in the struggle for about 5 minutes.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Golly, she got you that quick, and you didn't. You putting this elaborate story together. You didn't even think that. Oh, maybe I should make sure that they came in after me and wasn't already in the store. So you just basically profiled 2 people that you thought would do something, and then you did. Is that not a crime for you to do that to somebody? Because what if they found them and did something to them? Caught them in a standoff or something like that, accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is serious, and it should be.
And so we watched them. We watched them on the video footage throughout the store, and they're not following you. That you guys just happened. The only time you guys come back together is when you're in checking out. They come back. They actually have private items with them. So before we blast their photos out, right, to the media to be on the, I want to make sure that you're accurate, and I'm not disheartening what you're telling me.
No.
I just want to make sure that because what you're telling us and what we're seeing from the video surveillance, they don't match.
And I'm so glad that this happened because I think this is an important piece. I don't know if you were the officer, I can't remember. Okay,
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
A lot of work.
Yeah, this is my special needs bed.
Oh, he's cute.
So when you're in a situation like that and you're on high alert,
Absolutely.
you think you're hearing things, you think you know what's happening. So this is an important step that I think.
Awesome.
So I'm not like trying to stick to my story or whatever that.
I'm just like, if these people are out here doing what you're saying they're doing,
Yeah.
that's something for us to address, right?
Yeah.
Our next step is going forward with this is one, prosecuting them, right?
Yeah.
And 2, making sure this doesn't happen again. At the same time, we need to make sure that these people are in fact the people that you saw.
Yeah.
And they're doing what you were saying that they did. Because nobody wants to accuse somebody falsely, right?
Exactly, and that's why I'm a little discouraged of the fact that isn't the same person that I saw in the parking lot if they were in there before me.
Okay.
Now you're discouraged. When she showed you that photo, you just instinctively said, that's them. You look, that's them. Now you're saying it's fuzzy. What? Nah, bro, you can't do that. You can't do that. No. You can't do that. Now you're like, oh, you're not sticking to the story. Oh, it might not be who I saw if they was in the store before me. Everything is hazy now. But you told the officer, then went and recorded it on Instagram. Come on, fam.
In the parking lot if they were in there before me.
Okay. So you just looked at the photo and you said you were definitely sure.
I'm 100% sure that that's them.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm sorry. Can I see if he'll go inside for a minute?
Absolutely.
It's just a little less distracting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just as the heat is starting to turn up, Katie takes a pause to settle her son, granting her a momentary reprise from Detective Yeager's uncomfortable line of questioning. A few moments later, Katie's husband arrives home.
Oh, your dad, I'm assuming.
Hi. This is my husband, Dave.
Very cute kids, Dave. Very
Yep.
cute.
Yeah, they are. Katie, people are trying to call you.
Yeah,
I know you're busy, but just...
I didn't realize. Sorry, you probably won't leave me alone, so as long as it's okay with
No,
you.
absolutely. So anyway, back to this. We want to make sure that, because we are going to put their pictures out on media, if these are the people that you in fact said were doing that, and they reached for the stroller and you thought they were going to kidnap you, these are important things that we
Yeah, that part, without a shadow of a doubt, that is what was happening. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason to someone taking steps forward and reaching. That is without a shadow of a doubt. I can see how the timing of following, the timing of following in, I can see how that could have been misinterpreted.
Do you remember what they were saying to you?
They didn't say anything to me.
Okay.
They were talking about the kids. They were describing their features.
Okay.
And then they said they made comments about him not wearing a mask. I didn't listen clearly to everything that they were saying, but they were saying blonde hair, blue eyes.
It'd be easy to distract.
Yeah, they were just saying like things. Usually, what I was expecting at first was I thought they were going to make comment to that my kids were wearing masks, so that was where my head was at. And so I wasn't really listening in detail. I just heard my kid the first time that I heard them talking.
At this very moment, Katie has just backtracked on something she said in one of her Instagram videos. In both encounters with the police, Katie makes it clear that she didn't hear the man speak much. However, she told her followers that after the couple described her children's features, she claims she then heard the man say,
The boy will be easier because he's not wearing a mask, so the mom must not really care about him.
It's hard. I want to be.
No, I want you to take your time.
I really do want to be 100% sure because I do not want to falsely.
No.
Anything.
No.
As the awkward conversation continues, Katie finally acknowledges what brought the police back to speak with her.
Like this whole Instagram thing, like yesterday had 3,000 followers, mostly friends, people I went to school with. Like I did not think that this was going to be anything at all.
We're calling us because they live in Petaluma because now they're afraid of their children, which is one step. So we either want to reassure them that we're doing everything we can to find them, or it's like we're trying to give you justice and to do the right thing here. At the same time, there's a lot of eyeballs watching what's happening.
So 100% they reached for my stroller. 100% they were saying things that they shouldn't have been saying about my kids. 100% they circled my car.
Please tell me y'all have camera footage from her outside at the car. Please tell me that y'all were able to get some type of CCTV footage from her going to her car. Please, because if you got that and that didn't happen, it's over for you, moms.
It should be noted that this is now the third time Katie has told officials that the couple circled her car. First to dispatch in her initial 911 call, then to Officer McGovern when he met her outside the police station, and now to Detective Yeager. Despite her claims that the couple 100% circled her car, she described the incident to her followers on Instagram differently.
And they walk around, not the full perimeter, but half of the car. They go back and forth around half of my car.
They were parked closer to Michael's. They had no reason to go 3 cars beyond their own car to walk around my wife's car. You know what I mean? That's what's really...
And that is I will testify, that is what happened. One thing that I have felt like I don't have 100%, and when people ask me, I say I don't really know, is the white van. It very well could have just been coincidental that someone was in a van right behind me.
Although small, this is another discrepancy in her story.
There was a white van parked right next to my car.
Perhaps sensing Detective Yeager's skepticism, Katie's husband chimes in to back her up.
You tell them details like You went to the very back corner of the store to get your spray paint, and they followed you.
So they watched the footage, and this couple didn't come in. It's not the same couple that came in at the same time as
These people that she's saying that followed her out were already in the store 5 minutes before. We watched them throughout the store, and they don't come on surveillance. They don't come anywhere near her until everybody's in line. And these people in line have product with them. So that's why we drove out. We were trying to call her to kind of clarify some of this.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
That's
the
okay.
kids, I really didn't have my phone, and I've been trying not to look at it because it's too much for me right now.
Yeah, I don't.
This is all our property, so okay. Yeah.
So, would you recognize these two if you saw them again? If we were to do a photo lineup, would you recognize them again?
Yeah.
Okay. And willing to go forward with prosecution? Yes. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with these people. We're probably going to put this out in some social media, see if some people can help us. And then Officer McGovern will contact you at a later date when we have a photo lineup. Maybe you can come down to the station to view that.
Okay. I don't want to misrepresent what has happened. I do think it's important for parents to be aware, but I don't, it makes me a little uneasy that you guys are getting blown up about this. I mean, I think it's important, but I don't want to, I guess I'm feeling doubt that I misremembered the story, and I don't want to misrepresent what happened and make it a bigger, I don't know.
For my personal, it's like if I am a victim of something like this, I would want to trust us, right? That we're going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I would like to trust the police department that we're going to do the right thing.
Yes.
I don't know if, and this is just me, I don't know if I would want my stuff blasted over video.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that makes you feel. It would make me feel uneasy.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes it harder for us to find them and prosecute them when it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it just does. It's kind of like, I don't need to say this, but the O.J. Simpson thing. It was so blasted everywhere, right?
Yeah.
They had a hard time finding a town that they could prosecute it. They could get 12 jurors that didn't know anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this doesn't help us when it goes out, when it gets blasted like this.
I mean, yeah, that's what I don't want. I care more about them not doing this again. I care more about parents being more aware, but I don't think it's necessary for everybody to know all the details of everything. So I guess
it's too late. It's viral. It ain't like you can put that back in the jar and close the jar. Once it's viral, it's out there. It's out there. So the two people that you're saying, I hope for sure it's not them, because they're now labeled as this. That's like if somebody go out there and says you did this, that, or third to them. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to trial and they find you not guilty, but that stain is still there. It's still there. It doesn't go away. It's still hard for people to disassociate them from that. So I hope she's still telling somewhat the truth, because if not, this is tough to do to somebody. It's crazy.
that was just, you answered my question, was to just keep that. I did turn off all the comments and I'm not accepting anymore.
After Detective Yeager warns her of the possible repercussions of posting more about the case on social media, Katie then goes inside to get her phone so she can show them a message she received from someone online telling her that something similar happened to them in the Michaels parking lot. While the detective looks at the message, Officer McGovern has one more serious issue with Katie's story to point out as they prepare to leave.
So did you go right from Michael's back to your car?
Yeah.
The man did exit the store quickly behind you, but the woman remained in the store for almost a minute, chit-chatting with the clerk. She was trying to make a sale. She was scanning something on her phone. I'm assuming that was like a receipt or a coupon. Yeah, so she remained in the store and was making transactions. That's why I'm trying to see if you recall both of them following you out to their car, at what point they linked back up.
The hand in hand, I didn't visually see that until they were walking around my car. So they weren't walking hand in hand behind me out of the store.
Okay.
Because I was so just trying to get to the car, I didn't turn around and look. I just felt behind me. I just felt
there was some presence.
Yes. And then getting to my car and seeing them do that is...
So, but the last time you saw them, they were inside the store, and then upon exiting, they were also both together. It wasn't just the guy or just the girl. It was both of them were linked back up at that point.
Yeah, at the point that I without a shadow of doubt saw them. Yes, they were both together. And there is no excuse. I would love to hear if there is a one for taking a few steps forward towards the stroller, a few steps back, a few steps forward. And I saw he had something in his hand, because that was my first red flag. Is why are they holding hands? Like what?
He was carrying a phone the whole time he was in the store. Okay. So that's probably, I don't know why he would have changed his behavior in the parking lot. Okay. But that's what he was. And then when she left the store, she was carrying a bag of belongings.
After this uncomfortable exchange has concluded, Detective Yeager gives Katie her card and leaves with Officer McGovern. In an effort to corroborate Katie's story, the Petaluma Police Department issued a press release which included a photograph of the couple, asking for anyone with information to come forward. The couple, later identified as Eddie and Sadie, were made aware of the accusations by their teenage daughter, whose friend recognized them in the photo. The two promptly agreed to an interview with police, and 3 days later, on December 17th, it was announced that Sadie and Eddie were officially cleared as suspects, and that police were now investigating Katie. Katie Sorensen was charged with 3 counts of falsely reporting a crime, and on June 29, 2023, she was convicted on one of those counts. She was subsequently ordered to serve 90 days in jail, 60 of which could be served on a work release program, and she was required to complete a 4-hour implicit bias training. She was also placed on 12 months of informal probation, where she was prohibited from having a social media presence and ordered to submit to warrantless search and seizure of her electronic devices.
That could have been bad, bro. That could have been so much bad, so much worse for her. Especially if something would have happened to that couple. You know what I'm saying? Other than their reputation and names being damaged, and their kid, I'd have been upset that my kid had to see that and hear that. No telling of who she goes to school with that might have been saying things to her. You know what I mean? All of this comes into play. Social media is a dangerous place sometimes, and it's not friendly to kids and what they'll do to them in school, and how they'll make it hard for them. Hearing that their parents are out here trying to allegedly take kids, like, that could have been so much worse. So much worse, bro. That's why I was saying I was hoping she didn't, but wasn't anything adding up. Wasn't nothing adding up. That's why I was hoping for like surveillance camera on the outside that could have corroborated what she was saying at least. But yeah, bro, you'd be surprised. It'd be the stories that you think ain't gonna go viral, then they go viral. Now you're in hot water trying to figure out, why did I do this? Or did I really see, or did it really happen the way I said it did? Y'all be careful, man. Social media is weird like that. It always happens when you least expect it, man. Y'all be safe, though.